What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Marco, and I enjoy making these videos and being able to share my life, career, and travel experiences with you guys. I also enjoy being able to hear from you guys and being able to get any recommendations for the near future. So if you haven't been following me, yes, I've been somewhat busy. I am currently in the process of being commissioned, as I'm currently in the process of going through OCS. I will be starting phase 0 of OCS in 2 weeks over here in California, and in June I will have phase 1 in Alabama possibly. And if you haven't been following, I am also currently in the process of trying to learn how to fly. So yeah, but I'm making this footage because I know people have been messaging me about basic, how many people are being shipped off to basic coming up, and they just wanted to know more about my experience there. So to make it short and sweet right now, everyone's experience and time at basics is going to be way different. My experience is going to be different than yours, and your experience is going to be different than mine and your peers. But all in all, in my opinion, I can say that I enjoyed my time at basic. And it's weird to say because, you know, a lot of times they say that the older you are, the more prone you're technically going to hate it. And mainly it's because the reason that you'll dislike it is because mainly your platoon or your peers that you're with, let alone, you know, when you're older, you know, you're now socializing with mainly a lot of kids between the ages that range between 17 to 25 years old. And it's fully understandable, you know. Everyone that you're going to meet at basic is from all around the world. You don't know where you're going to meet them. You don't know where they're from. And it's a great experience. You know, for me, being in leadership roles in the past and everything, I've always enjoyed it. I always enjoy being able to meet new people, being able to see what they like and stuff like that. And I believe that helped me a lot. So, you know, for me, I can say in my platoon, I had two 17-year-olds, and the oldest was 33. He was just a couple months older than me. And, you know, yeah, it's understandable. They're going to act like kids. You got to remember, they are still kids. They just graduated high school. Some of them are still even in high school while they're going through basic. And, you know, that maturity is fully not there for many of them. I can't say all of them because I did have quite a few of them that were still very mature for being, you know, 17, 18, 19 years old. And, you know, that's a great experience that you'll have. But then you will have people that, you know, they still act very, very immature. And that's what's going to get you, you know, you or mainly your platoon and or company, you know, in trouble for that corrective action. So that always depends on that. You know, all in all, I had a blast. For me, being the Bay leader and then being the PG, you know, I did have to keep a majority of the people like in check, because, you know, when you're in a leadership role, even if you're not in a leadership role, you have to show that leadership skills while you're there to be able to, you know, make sure that, you know, people are held accountable for their actions and stuff like that. But at the same time, you know, I wasn't going to be that type of, you know, person that, hey, stop doing that or stop doing this for any little thing. You know, they're kids, and even for just being there, it's, you know, you can't just think about work related all the time. You have to have some fun. And being able to give your peers and yourself some freedom, you know, it helps. You know, it gets you guys closer. It makes it a bigger bond. When you're that type of person that people can't go up to you, people are not really afraid of you, they just don't like you, or they don't respect you, or they just don't want to socialize with you for some reason, obviously it's going to show and you're going to be isolated. For me, like I said, being 32, a lot of them already knew my some type of background for me, because just the way I had carried myself. I don't know, what I do differently, but it shows in your, not only your personality, but it shows on the way you act, you treat people, and how you interact with others. Let alone, it shows when you're up there and you're put into a leadership position. It shows. um you know so some people didn't even believe I was 32. Some people thought I was younger, and the only thing that a lot of people were, which surprised me, was because when I met new people from other platoons, obviously they don't know you as well as your platoon will. They started asking me questions of, what background. A lot of people thought I was prior service, or, and stuff like that. And, I just told them it wasn't prior service. It's, that was my first time in military, but I do have the experience and knowledge of it. And it was just from, law enforcement. And, for me, I can, honestly thank, because I went through 2 police academies, and I can honestly thank the San Bernardino County Sheriff's full-time academy for that, which was a huge wake-up call when I went through it at 21, 22 years old. So shout out to them. I appreciate it. I appreciated all the work that they put in, because at that time I was just 21, 22, clueless, kid that did not know what I was getting myself into. But it shows, because when I was in the academy, it's a lot different. And like I said, that's where it shows. Your leadership shows where, yes, you may know something, or you may know more than your peers, but that doesn't give you the right to be, that type of, what they call an a-hole, or in police jargon, an Adam Henry. Doesn't give you that right. You're there to help each other out. Help your peers out. If they don't know or they're struggling, help them out. Now, I'm a big component of this other one. I'm here to help you, but I'm not gonna be there to, do things for you, like to dress you and stuff. If you want to join a career and you want to be into the military or law enforcement or anything like that, you have to start taking accountability and take that maturity and be able to do certain things on your own. But by all means, I am always here to help. I know along the way, I've had great partners and great friends that, they took me under their wing and they helped me, but I was also looking for it. But they were also, I was also fortunate for them to be able to provide it. There are many people that are not going to be there to assist you or help you, because a lot of times they just, in a sense, this is where, it's a big story on that, but it's more like they're going to throw you under the bus because they want to make themselves look better. They want to get a promotion. They want to think that, they know something. And a lot of times they just don't. You'll face a lot of them in your career, whether it's military, especially law enforcement. And it's like any other job, you'll discover it as you go on in any type of career that you are intending to do. But be the person that, you go out there. Don't think that you know it all, because I guarantee you're not going to know it all. All right. As I told a lot of my trainees, or pretty much every trainee that I had as an officer, I better not find out that they're telling people that they know it all, because they don't. Even I told them straight out, even as a field training officer, I do not know it all. You will never know it all. And it's unfortunate you will find people like that. If you find people like that, it's unfortunate, but that's the society that we live in now. But be the person that, you go in there, just look around, stay quiet and, do your thing. And, if you start seeing people struggle, go up and approach them, get a gathering in your platoon or your bay and ask them, hey guys, I never done this stuff, this is a new experience, but I know certain things of, the these procedures such as marching and stepping and stuff like that, let me help you out if you guys need the help. And ask them, don't be the person that you're trying to belittle someone and you're trying to also belittle them in front of your peers or someone else, because it doesn't make you look good in any way. All right, because you will always find someone that it's either smarter, stronger, or better than you in something. So just always be mindful about that, because you're always going to need someone else's assistance in something. And if you're that person that people cannot rely on, you're definitely going to be left isolated and alone. And I've seen it. And so, like I said, for me overall, my experience during my BCT, I enjoyed it. I had no complaints. Besides my, some of the sick call rangers that we had, and not just in my platoon, because I had mainly a few, very, very few, but there was many in the company. You'll discover your sick call rangers. They are, in a sense, shouldn't be there. And if they're there, they should definitely be recycled to go somewhere else, to finish with some other platoon or company. But other than that, I enjoyed the platoon and bay that I had. I am definitely, like I said, I definitely made great friends. And a lot of the kids never expected a 30-year-old person to be there and be, have that same bond. And for me, I think what also helped me with them was because I have two kids. I have a 13-year-old and a 3-year-old. So that also helps me in the process. But other than that, like I said, my experience is going to be a lot different than yours. Your experience is going to be a lot different than mine. But just be mindful of how just be mindful of how you act. It's unfortunate you're not going to be able to pick your platoon. You're not going to be able to pick your company. You're going to be assigned somewhere, and you're going to have to make the best of it. I can say that if I was in a different platoon, which I was, when I was there and I was seeing it, and if I was in a different bay, which I saw also, my story and my experience would probably been a lot different. I can honestly say that, because, seeing what that platoon and that bay were doing and stuff that they pretty much weren't disciplined in a sense was disappointing. And I can say that when I was on the phone with my family, because you will get phone time, I was able to get my phone every Sundays for at least 30 minutes. I think the longest I got my phone was for about 2 hours. But I got it every Sundays, so that helped a lot. But I told them, if I wasn't in my platoon or my bay, my experience would have been different. I probably would have hated it. So, it's just how you're going to make your experience there. Sometimes you can help it, by being able to, do your thing and stuff like that. But at the same time, if your peers are just horrible, and you may, it's unfortunate, you may have that. I cannot predict that for you. But you may have that horrible experience, and I'm not trying to scare you, but in any way, but go out there, do your thing. And as long as you're putting yourself out there, be that leader, be that person that's, you're going to be able to rely there. People are going to be able to rely on you. And then hopefully, you'll get more and more of your peers from your platoon, to be able to, kind of follow you in a sense. So that way you guys are not getting, these correctable actions every so often. So just be mindful about that. And, I don't have a crystal ball, so I cannot give you your experience, unfortunately. That was one of my biggest fears, because, I was going there with the fear of, I'm not only an adult, but I'm 32 with 2 kids and everything. And I'm going in there with a bunch of kids, and I thought it was going to be a horrible experience. But, my experience was beyond what I expected. And for that, I'm fortunate enough to be able to leave basic with many, many friends. And these friends are from all over the world, So it's a great experience that I'm definitely going to, I definitely enjoyed, and I'm definitely going to carry a lot of these friendships, in the future. So it's definitely going to help. Make yourself proud and have that honor to be able to put that uniform on. Don't be the one that's going to sick call every freaking day and then you put that uniform on and you think you deserved it. Because in reality, that's not how it should be. All right. So as long as you're putting in that hard work, that dedication, you don't have to be the best. All right. Just remember that you don't have to be the best at everything. As long as you're putting that hard work, dedication, and you're doing those low crawls, dragging your helmet, your face on that sand, the dirt, the mud, all that stuff, that's going to show, your character. All right. And especially it's going to show by those that, your drill sergeants. It's going to show your peers, it's going to show that, you're still capable of doing it and you're not going to give up. That's the biggest thing I can give you. Do not give up. All right. It is 10 weeks away from your family. That was for me the hardest thing I had to overcome. For me, it was mainly mental. But my phone call, that one weekend phone call every Sundays, made all the difference. So just be mindful about that. All right, guys. Other than that, like I said, just go out there, do your thing. If you have any questions, any concerns, drop your comment down below. I will definitely reach out. If you guys want me to make a different video, I would definitely make another video for you guys. Let me know what kind of videos you want. Let me know. Give me any recommendations you would like, and I will come, make a video of my experience, any type of knowledge that I have of it, and I will definitely look it up for you guys. Doesn't hurt if you do not know it. Look it up. It's always going to be somewhere, whether it's your procedures, your policies, anything about it. Just look it up. All right. Other than that, guys, I wish you guys the best of luck. Just go out there, kill it. See you guys next time, and always keep working harder so you can get better the next day. All right, guys. So take care.